There exists within every person an invisible power, one that can either build empires or destroy dreams. That power is emotion. It moves silently beneath the surface, guiding decisions, shaping attitudes, and determining destinies. The man or woman who fails to harness it will forever be a slave to circumstance, blown by the winds of mood and opinion, but the one who learns to master feeling, who controls the invisible before it becomes visible, holds in their hands the very tools of greatness. You cannot build a strong structure on unstable ground, and you cannot build a successful life on undisciplined emotions. There are those who allow their tempers to flare at the smallest slight. They live in a reactionary state, pulled by every provocation. They justify their rage, their jealousy, their fears as natural, and perhaps they are. But nature, when left unchecked, is wild. The jungle is natural, so is the storm, but it is the cultivated field that feeds the world. It is the dammed river that generates power. Nature, when channeled, becomes progress. Every person has felt anger. Every person has known fear. These feelings are not weaknesses, they are signals. But they are not meant to drive the chariot. They are there to be observed, evaluated, and controlled. The man who reacts without thought is a puppet pulled by invisible strings. He says what he later regrets. He makes decisions he later wishes to undo, and all because he allowed temporary emotions to guide permanent outcomes. Now, consider the one who is composed. Imagine the individual who hears insult but does not respond with fire, who feels fear but does not retreat, who senses doubt but moves forward with calm, reasoned resolve. That person is not cold. That person is not detached. They have simply learned that emotion is a servant, not a master. Self-control is not repression, it is redirection. To control your feelings does not mean you feel less. It means you feel wisely. It means you place intellect before impulse. It means you respond, not react. It is not the absence of passion, but its proper application. Passion that builds must be stronger than passion that burns. The most dangerous enemy any person will ever face is not out there in the world. It is the one that rises from within, uncontrolled fear, unchecked anger, insatiable envy. These are the seeds of destruction, and yet they can also be the fuel for achievement, if disciplined. The fire that consumes can also forge. But it must be watched, guided, directed by the higher faculties of reason and purpose. No man climbs high who is ruled by feelings, for feelings fluctuate. They change with the weather, with the news, with a word spoken or a word withheld. But purpose does not waver. Vision does not rise and fall with mood. Greatness is never born in a flash of emotion. It is built, layer by layer, decision by decision, each one made with the calm assurance of someone who has tamed the wild beasts inside. When you feel the rush of anger, pause. When fear whispers that you are not enough, pause. When doubt begins to creep into your thoughts, pause. In that pause you regain command. In that pause you choose the higher path. This power, this control is the mark of maturity. It is the beginning of wisdom, and it is the foundation of all success. To command others, you must first command yourself. To lead, you must be led by principle, not by emotion. Feelings can be influenced by others, but principles are immovable. They stand firm while emotions swirl like a storm around them, and so the wise man builds his house on that rock. Your future depends not only on what you do, but on how you feel while doing it, and more importantly, on how you choose to interpret and manage those feelings. For there is a difference between being motivated by emotion and being manipulated by it. One empowers, the other enslaves, make no mistake. Those who have achieved great heights in any field have learned this truth. They have trained their minds to override their moods. They have taught their hearts to serve the mind, not sabotage it. and they have become masters of themselves before they ever tried to master the world. The question is not whether you will feel. The question is whether you will rule your feelings, or they will rule you. Only one of those paths leads to strength, to progress, to peace. The choice, as always, is yours. Emotions are quick to rise and quick to deceive. They color your perception, twist your thoughts, and make the temporary seem permanent. A moment of frustration can sabotage a lifetime of work. A minute of recklessness can destroy the respect you've earned over years. This is the price of unchecked feeling, and yet society applauds passion. It romanticizes impulsiveness. It encourages people to follow their heart, without teaching them that the heart, when undisciplined, can lead to ruin just as surely as it can lead to joy. There is a deeper law at work in those who succeed beyond ordinary limits. They are not those who shout the loudest or feel the most intensely. They are the ones who learn to think when others panic, who stay calm when others break. They do not allow their inner state to be dictated by outer events. Where others see insult, they see opportunity. Where others see failure, they see instruction. Their minds are not imprisoned by their feelings. They are informed by them, then transcend them. You cannot stop feelings from coming. They will rise as naturally as breath, but you can choose how long they stay, how much power they are given, how deeply they are allowed to influence action. It is easy to lash out. It is easy to quit when discouraged. It is easy to justify weakness by saying, "That's just how I felt." But easy is not the way of the strong. Easy is the excuse of the undisciplined. The great ones feel everything, but they are ruled by nothing but their vision. Emotion must be tamed the way fire is tamed, not extinguished, but enclosed, focused, and used for a purpose. When a person allows their feelings to run free without guidance, they waste their energy. But when they learn to discipline those feelings, to give them purpose, to make them servants of the mind, they become unstoppable. Their energy is no longer scattered. It is concentrated like a beam of light through a lens. And where that focus is aimed, change happens, mountains move. Many people go through life blaming others for how they feel. They say, "He made me angry," or "She ruined my mood." But this is a lie told by those who have given away their power. No one controls your emotions unless you permit it. Your response is your choice. The one who knows this, deeply and unshakably, becomes unoffendable, unshakable, unbreakable, not because they don't feel, but because they have chosen mastery over mood. There will always be critics. There will always be those who try to provoke a reaction, who test your patience, who challenge your calm. But you do not answer to them. You answer to your own higher vision. You answer to your purpose. Let others waste their days in argument and complaint. Let them fall into bitterness and blame. You stay centered. You stay focused. The storms may rage around you, but within you there is peace. That peace is your power. Self-control is not a gift. It is not something you are born with or without. It is a skill, and like all skills, it is built with practice, through trial, through repeated effort. You will fail. You will lose control, but in every failure lies a lesson. The key is not to never feel, but to rise stronger after every slip, more aware, more equipped, more determined to rule yourself fully. It is a lifelong discipline, and every day offers another opportunity to sharpen it. Let others be swayed by moods and emotions. You who seek strength must rise above. You who want to lead your life must be captain of your soul and commander of your feelings. Every day that you rule your emotion is a day you move closer to mastery. Every moment of calm in chaos is a moment of triumph, and in time people will wonder at your composure. They will ask how you stay so clear, so focused, so unshaken. And the answer will be simple. You chose again and again to rule what rules most people. The greatest wars are not fought on battlefields. They are fought in the silence of the human heart, and the greatest victories are won not with noise, but with quiet resolve. The choice is always there, a fall into feeling or to rise into mastery. Choose well. Control of emotion is not repression, it is refinement. It is the deliberate shaping of raw energy into a tool for progress. You are not here to be ruled by whims, to be blown back and forth by the tides of your moods. You are here to lead, to build, to become, and that demands steadiness. The world yields its secrets not to the restless, not to the impulsive, but to the focused and composed. When your feelings are wild, your mind is cloudy, and a cloudy mind cannot see opportunity, cannot reason clearly, cannot chart a course. But when the fog of feeling lifts, when calm returns, clarity comes. And clarity is power. There is a time for emotion, but it must serve. It must be channeled. Anger, when restrained, becomes fuel. Fear, when understood, becomes foresight. Even sadness can bring insight, if you are willing to observe it without surrendering to it. But the moment emotion takes the throne, reason is cast aside. Decisions are made hastily. Words are spoken carelessly. Relationships are harmed. Reputations are wounded. And all because a person could not hold their tongue or still their hands long enough to think. True power lies in the pause, the breath before the reaction, the stillness before the storm. It is in that pause that you reclaim your will. It is in that moment of control that you separate yourself from the ordinary. The average man is a creature of impulse. He sees, he feels, he acts, but the exceptional man pauses, he measures, he chooses not the easy way, not the familiar reaction, but the path that aligns with his vision. That is the difference between chaos and order, between frustration and fulfillment. This control is not coldness, it is strength. It is the strength to not be provoked, the strength to walk away when your pride demands retaliation, the strength to stay the course when fear whispers failure. It is the quiet confidence that knows feelings pass, but consequences remain. When you understand that, you stop letting every feeling drive action. You begin to observe your emotions like clouds passing in the sky, not denying them, not pretending they don't exist, but simply refusing to be moved by every one that appears. There are people who never finish what they start, not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they are ruled by feelings. They begin in excitement, but stop when the enthusiasm fades. They work while it's easy, but give up when resistance appears. Their lives are a pattern of starts and stops, highs and lows, always depending on how they feel, and so they go nowhere. Forward motion demands stability, and stability demands that your emotions serve your mission, not sabotage it. Discipline is doing what must be done regardless of mood. It is showing up on the bad days. It is choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. It is holding your tongue when you want to lash out, focusing when you want to drift, pressing on when you want to quit. This is not about denying yourself emotion. It is about learning to let emotion pass through you without derailing you. You are not a puppet. You are not a machine. You are something far greater. You are a conscious mind capable of directing thought, shaping reaction, and choosing response. There will be moments when you are tested, when people provoke you, when plans fall apart, when nothing goes as expected. In those moments, others will look to see how you react. Will you break or will you breathe? Will you rage or will you rise? The choice is made not in the moment of emotion, but in the practice that came before. The training of the mind, the habit of discipline, the belief that you are stronger than what you feel. Each time you choose mastery, you become more of what you were meant to be, not a slave to emotion, but a builder of destiny. The more often you choose control, the easier it becomes, not because emotion fades, but because your ability to manage it strengthens. You begin to notice the early signals, tension rising, thoughts racing, voice sharpening, and you intervene not out of fear but out of wisdom. You no longer need to prove yourself through reaction. Your proof is in your presence, your composure, your direction. Others may mistake your calm for weakness, but in time they will understand. It is the mark of someone who has won the war within. Every feeling you conquer becomes a foundation stone. With each act of restraint, your confidence grows. You learn that feelings do not last, but the effects of your actions do. You stop chasing the fleeting satisfaction of emotional release and start seeking the lasting satisfaction of emotional mastery. The rewards are quiet but profound. Better relationships, clearer decisions, stronger discipline, greater peace. You no longer move through life reacting. You respond, you choose, you create. The world may not notice each quiet victory, but you will. And in time, those quiet victories build a life that others admire, not for its drama, but for its unshakable strength. Control of your feelings is not just a skill. It is a foundation for everything you will build, become, and achieve. When you master your emotions, you reclaim your power. You rise above the noise, the chaos, the distractions, and become the architect of your life rather than a victim of passing moods. The world will test you, people will provoke you, circumstances will challenge you. But when you respond with discipline, with clarity, and with purpose, nothing can move you off your path. Let others be ruled by reaction. You will be ruled by vision, and in that quiet strength you will find the true essence of freedom, greatness, and lasting peace.